Hey, welcome to Mike's Trains and thanks for joining me for the next video. Last week we did this whole backdrop up in here and we got that all done and into place, and you can see there it is. It looks pretty good, but we're not quite done yet. We still have some things to do, and what I'd like to do next is the foreground scenery. So what I want to do is we want to scenic this area here, and then all of this area all around the building here. We want to get that all done. I'm not going to go into the ballasting of all this area. We're just going to take care of this area and this back here, and then you can just go from there. And this is how I'm going to do the rest of it. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is we have to tape off a little bit of the area where we don't want scenic materials. So what I'm going to do first is I got painter's tape here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a piece right on the top edge of this because I don't want to cover all that up. Okay, I'm just going to let that hang like that. And then we're going to take another piece and I'm going to run it down this side because I don't want to cover any more than this than I have to. Alright, I do want some of the ground materials to get on there, but I don't want it to be totally covered. And this is the way that I know to not get that done. Okay, so now we're all covered as far as we're going to go. And now I want to I'm just going to use regular old white glue, Elmer's or whatever that may be. I'm going to put a bunch up in here. And I'm going to take a paintbrush and we're just going to spread that around. And just keep in mind, wherever the glue goes, of course, that's where our scenic's going to go. So, you got to be a little bit careful with it. Okay, so let's get the dirt. And then we're going to sprinkle it with a spoon. We're just going to go right over the top of this. So we're going to go like that. Alright, so the top part's done. Now I'm just going to, I just want to do the whole area as a whole, as one big thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom area as well. Alright, so there we go. That's the dirt part of it. Okay? And I've gone all the way around to the other side. And you can see how now the parking lot is now blended in. I took the glue and I brought it up over the edge a little bit. And then we'll brush away and vacuum off later the extra, and what's left behind will be the ground and the dirt encroaching on top of the parking lot, and it'll look good. So the next part now, what we need to do is take a little isopropyl alcohol. Now I use 70% because we need to soak all of that. If it's going to glue and stay down, we need to put some of this on here and let that run right through the whole thing. Now the one thing I want to say, you can see me going up close to the trees back there. What I will say is if you're using an inkjet printer on this paper to do your backdrops, make sure you seal them first with a clear coat before you put anything wet near them, because it will make the ink run. Alright, so it's been about maybe a minute or two. In the meantime, I got my glue ready. Now all I'm using to do this, and this is what I've been using forever, is just a watered down white glue. So I just keep watering it until it gets down to just a shade thicker than water. You can see how it drips right out of there. Alright, so now I'm just going to let that glue soak in for a few minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next step. Alright, so the glue is sat for a little while. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes, give or take. Let that soak in and settle down. Now I'm just going to take some dark green ground foam, and I'm just going to sprinkle that. Alright, so that's down. Now we're going to try a lighter color, and we're just going to sprinkle that in the same way. I'm going to go with this color. Alright, so that's all of that, and then I'm going to go with another third color. Alright, so now that we have all the ground foam down, I want to hit this again with the alcohol, and that's going to bring the glue up through the ground foam. Alright, now I am going to hit this because I want to go quickly, and I'm not, the glue will actually, it will come up through the dirt and the ground foam on its own, but because I want to do this quickly, I'm going to add a little bit more of our watered down glue, just a little bit in different areas. I just want to make sure there's enough in there and it's coming up through where it should be. So it's just a very small amount that I reintroduced back in there. I want to make sure that that glue is everywhere. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to add in here is some static grass. Now I have my own applicator that I made, and you can see that here. Let's see. So in there you can see there's some very long fibers, and that's what I want to put in. And they're sort of like a burnt grass color. And that's what I want to have, and we're going to hit those around all of the edges. Getting really full here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to stick it right in here like that, and then we're going to start hitting this up in here. So that's going to go like that. And then at this point we can peel this stuff off. We don't need this anymore. And you can see some of my paint came up, but that's okay. We can fix that later. That's not a huge problem to fix. But that's pretty much it. And the next step now is trees, and of course I didn't do this little area right here, so I'll have to come back with that, but I think that's going to fill with ballast anyway. I want to fill that straight up, but there you go. And I think we're looking pretty good. See if I can move you over this way just a little bit. Now you can see. So everything is blended now, right? So our retaining wall down there, right there, all meets the ground. The grass is all in. The parking lot is blended in with the scenery. It's very tall grass because obviously, you know, they don't mow here. It's not something that you know, anybody really wants to deal with. And it's giving the look that I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So now it's just a matter of I have to let everything dry, and then once we're all dried out, then I can come back and put the trees in and then start the ballasting, and then this area is all done. So for this video, I'm going to call this done for this week. And next week, hopefully this week, I'll have a chance to come back down and plant the trees. I don't think I'm going to do video for it because I just don't see the point. But I will give you a look-see for next week as to what it looks like with all the trees in there. And then we also want to add in that fence that goes right there, the chain link fence that's going to go up there. I got to get that put in. But, you know, you got to finish the ground stuff before you add in those extras like that. So, you know, we're at that point now. I will come back and we'll touch up the little bit of white right there that's showing, little bits here and there. I have paints for that. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for this scene. And then it's just a matter of just a whole bunch of dressing and people. I call it window dressings. You know, the people and the vehicles that will go into here to show that it's an actual working place and not an abandoned building, like the one that's behind. So yeah. So that's it. So anyway, that's it for this week. If you're just finding me and watching this for the first time, you like what you saw, please, by all means, subscribe to my video. Love to have you along. Plenty to see, lots more projects coming. So until next time, happy modeling.